Howdy gamers, Old Gamer Guy here. Below is a game that has been on Xbox and PC for quite a while. I watched some videos of it when it was released and I was pretty intrigued by it, so I was very happy to see it show up in the PlayStation Store. It was only like 25 bucks, so I picked it up. And I thought I'd make a video showing basically my first impressions of the first hour or so of gameplay. So, starting off with this intro here, you can barely see it in the middle of the screen at this point, but that is a boat. And I'm not joking when I say that the first 5 minutes of the game is just slowly zooming in on this boat. Our point of view is flying over a stormy sea, and a lonely boat is down there, and we zoom in on this boat for 5 minutes. I'm obviously going to skip past most of that, but it's basically very atmospheric in several senses of the word. We get some kind of, what I think is a cool soundtrack. I really like the soundtrack to this game. But we finally arrive on the shore. This game has some roguelike elements to it, so you can die and drop some things and you'll have to go back to your dead body. But here is our first adventurer. He's kind of he looks like he's got a gray beard and he's got a sword and a shield, but unfortunately I did not realize he had a sword and a shield for quite a while. It's kind of embarrassing. I've been gaming for so long and I did not realize that I could block attacks and swing a sword for quite a while. But up the beach here, there's a kind of a campsite looking place, and there's some things on the ground. I picked up some turnips and a fillet, and I think I got an ember, and I just got some water. So there are survival elements to this game. I was able to start a fire with that ember, I guess. And then sitting down at the campfire, it will bring up two options. One of them is red. We obviously can't do anything about that. But the other option will bring up a inventory and crafting menu. We've got some water. I've got a couple of turnips that I picked up. We have 4 arrows, a torch, and a bow. I didn't craft anything, so I went ahead and skipped on past all the rest of my looking at the menu there and just started to explore. Objects are obviously blinking in the world, so that makes it easier to find stuff, although you do have limited inventory space. I believe parts of this game are procedurally generated, but I don't think that applies to this exterior of this island. So eventually I found my way up to this plateau, and there's this light there. It's kind of I think it's a magic light source. It's not on all the time, as you will see, but when you first pick it up, you can make it light up. This game doesn't tell you anything. There's no tutorial. You just have to jump in and start exploring and try things. But eventually, I found my way to this opening in the rock that's obviously not a naturally created opening. So I went in there, and I think we get a very short load screen. Yeah. Now we are inside, and I will use my new magic light to open this door, and you'll see when I use it. There you go. The light itself just went out. So it's not glowing anymore. Obviously, you have torches, so it's not going to stay glowing at all times. I'm not really sure what recharges it, even though I played for an hour. I just know it recharges every once in a while, and you're able to use it again. The stairs are broken right there, but I can climb down this part of the wall. And continue down below. See what I did there? It's a very, obviously the graphics aren't super high fidelity, but this game is very atmospheric. I really like the soundtrack. I think I said that already. And now we have kind of a cave with another campsite in it. And I think there was another ember there on the ground. So I started the fire, and then there's something up here, a stick. I have not figured out how to make arrows yet, but I do eventually figure out how to make some broth with the turnips, and I think I'm picking up potatoes occasionally, also spuds. But I didn't craft anything here either, so I went ahead and skipped on past that. And continued on my journey. Now here is where I think the game starts to be procedurally generated, in these rooms that have this fog. So every time you would play the game, this would be a little bit different when you get to this point. Just basically do some exploring and picking up some stuff, and every once in a while you find these things that can be lit. I guess those are basically like a brazier that you can light. And eventually you will meet up with your first creature. Each of these areas can have one or more exits. You can see I'm totally inept at shooting my bow. Wow, that is amazing. That second shot was really amazing. But the third shot, I got him. So I think what those creatures drop are the things that charge up the magic light, I think. But I'm out of arrows here. And like I said, I haven't realized just yet that I have a sword and a shield, even though you can see him. You can see the guy is carrying a sword and a shield, so it's kind of embarrassing. I'm such a long-time gamer, and it took me so long to figure this out. I'm so stubborn. I didn't look at the controls in the game. But you can see I went back up to that other room, and that fire that I lit is now out, but I was able to pick up an ember. Now we're back up in this other campfire room, and you can see in the upper left-hand corner that my stomach is getting very empty. But I'm going to go on back down, and I ended up just avoiding the creatures for a while and just going whichever direction I could go to avoid them. And I made it to this room, which I don't believe is procedurally generated because there was no fog obscuring the room. And I lit a campfire. This time I can use this other option, and it turns the campfire blue. And you'll see in a little while what that means. But right now, I'm going to make some broth out of a couple of turnips and a potato. You can combine 3 things. And now I have some broth, And you can see I'm still very hungry in the upper left-hand corner. My stomach is very empty, but I'm going to go ahead and drink my broth. That'll fill me up a little bit. And now I'm going to eat my 2 potatoes that I have left here. I'm going to save my fillet for later, though. I wasn't sure if I needed to cook it or how that would work, so I left it in my inventory and continued on down. And there is what looks like a spike trap right there. And I was very careful walking around it. Which is funny because about 10 or 15 feet away, I triggered another one and died. That was that was my first death. Fade to black, but hold everything. Another boat is approaching. You can see the wreckage of my first boat there on the shore. And now we have another adventurer. This guy has black hair, apparently. And clearly has a sword and a shield. And now we have our first campfire back. This time when I sit down at it, that second option will be available. Or no, a third option actually. Triggering that turns the fire blue, and we fast travel to that other campsite. So now I can continue on with this guy. But he does not have the mysterious magical light source thing. It's at my dead body. So I found my way down here. There's something glowing there. That's not my body. That's the magic light. But my body is there. So I'll pick up all my stuff. And right here is where I finally realized that I could raise my shield. L2 raises your shield. R2 will make you thrust with your sword. There's the sword attack right there. So I thought, let's try it out. And there we go. My first kill. Now we have our magic light source back. And as you can imagine, discovering that you can raise your shield and swing a sword is a huge breakthrough. I'm embarrassed I didn't make the discovery sooner. But now I can mow through these creatures anyway. I'm sure there are others that will take more strategy. But I continued on through the cave until I found an exit that looked like it might go outside. And so it did. It looks like we might be on the opposite side of the island now, on another beach. And there are some items to pick up here. Eventually I found another campsite, went up these stairs. There was kind of a secret door right there and a lift that brought me all the way back up to the plateau where I originally found my magic light. So I wasn't really sure exactly what I was supposed to do here, but like I said, each of those cave rooms can have more than one exit. And I knew that I had gone through some rooms and I had gone one way but not the other. So I figured I would just go back down and try to explore some of those areas where I had not been just yet. So here we are going back through the entrance again. So this is about where my first hour, where I ended up after 1 hour of play. And so I'll end the video here as I go down these stairs once more. But yeah, this game, $25. I think it's pretty cool, atmospheric, cool soundtrack. The graphics aren't the most amazing thing you'll ever see, but they do the job. And I like it for whatever that's worth. So if anybody's interested in more videos of Below, let me know. But otherwise, that'll do it for now. As always, thanks for watching.